Hey there, friends. It's time for a Sunday chat, and today I am telling you all about why I do not have a reading journal. I am showing you a photo of my pile that has been sitting there right next to my bed for a while, for a long while, because when I'm reading. I forget everything about around me. I'm reading when and then I stop to eat and to sleep, and then I continue reading. That just doesn't really work with my life. And so I can't really find a balance. So I often choose not to read, even though I have been an avid reader for all my life. But I have been a reader like that, the one that forgets everything around them and does not care all my life as well. And so I have never been able to read 2 pages, put it aside, and then move on to something else. That is only something that I would do with nonfiction books. So we have been doing a social media detox during Thanksgiving break. And that's when I started reading because I needed something to escape reality. And I decided I was going to do something about this pile that has been sitting there and has been weighing on me for a long time. Um, the books that are on that pile are German. Many of them are quite hefty in size and sometimes in topic. I have had the book The Hate You Give from like maybe 2 weeks after it was published. I have not dared to read it because I definitely know that it will upset me, and I just haven't really had the guts to let it upset me. But I'm slowly getting there. So you are probably wondering why this is all about me um, telling you why I don't have a reading journal. Um, I have been thinking I usually when I watch other people, many people have either reading journals or they have lists of books that they want to read, lists of books that they read. Sometimes they um, rate the books. And I thought that that's what people do, planner people especially. And since I'm a planner person, I thought I needed to do that too. It never worked. It actually derailed me from reading because I couldn't read the next book because I haven't written anything into my reading journal, and that's what I needed to do. So, in order not to get feel guilty about not writing into my reading journal, I just didn't read. I'm not reading for many other reasons as well, but that was definitely one that kept me from reading as well. And and then I just didn't have a reading journal, and it works. I barely, barely. I only read for my own enjoyment. I don't read many nonfiction books. I just can't be bothered. Um, if I really want to learn something, I do much better with listening or watching someone. So YouTube or actually e-courses, video courses are definitely more my style when it comes to learning something. Um, I I don't need to have a reading journal. Why would anybody be interested, and why would I need to know what kind of books I read? I enjoyed them in the moment. And there's that. I can absolutely read a book without having the title written down somewhere. And I have to tell you, ever since I filmed this video, and ever since I started reading again this this time trying to balance it more and not be so obsessive about it. Um, I actually wrote the title after I finished the book into my reading, into my journal, into the everyday life. When I finished the book, I would write finished this and this book. I don't know why I never had the idea to do this before, but yeah, that's that's it. I don't need to write a summary of this book. I've never been good at writing summaries about books. We had to do this in school, and I would struggle through writing summaries. And I actually I don't need a specific journal about me reading a book. When I don't ever look back onto this reading journal, I just, as I said, I read for my own enjoyment. And when I'm done with the book, I either return it to the library, put it onto my bookshelf, and it's fine. And if it's really, really good, I recommend it to someone who I know might enjoy it. And there's that. So if you are like me and you are a planner and you feel obligated to keep a reading journal, no, you do not have to keep a reading journal. Let me tell you the books that I did not write about what I was going to do with the books or anything. I just made a reading list. The stamp sets that I used were from Feed Your Craft and Studio L2E. I will link the shops in the description box below, but I'm not sure that these specific stamp sets are in stock. They have fabulous stuff, but I haven't purchased clear stamps in a long time. I have a good stash of everything that I need, and I just use it for a change. So the the books that I have on my list, and to be honest, that was also something that made me feel really guilty not reading those books. Some of them are German. I will just tell you the German names, and if I can find a translated version for it, I will link it in the description box. The first one is Heinrich Steinfest, Der Allesforscher. It was a really when I wrote this, when I journaled, I hadn't started any of the books. But for some reason, something changed and I was able to start reading these. And I have received the Der Allesforscher maybe 3 or 4 years ago for my birthday, and I hadn't touched it. I tried to read the first chapter maybe 3 times and I just couldn't get into the book. But since I was given the book by one of my siblings, I felt obligated to read it. So I gave it one last chance. This is what I'm going to do with all of the books that are in that pile, giving them one last chance. If they don't work, I won't read them, won't bother about them anymore. I won't feel guilty. I will find them a good new home. But it suddenly clicked, and it was a really interesting read. The writing was so, it was written from the. See, I can't even talk books because I don't know the technical terms. It was written from the I perspective and in retrospect. But what the narrator, the I, was doing was also at the same time reflecting and giving explanations for his decisions and commenting on things that he said while he was telling the story, which was so weird, but at the same time it was so good. So I finished that one, and then I have also, this was given to me by one of my friends that I know from when we studied at university, Carmen Korn, Töchter einer neuen Zeit. It's actually a trilogy about the friendship of 4 women who were born in before World War One. They all live in Hamburg, and yeah, it accompanies the women, their friendships, their lives and families throughout their whole life, through World War One, World War Two, and then after those wars, how they develop. And I finished that book as well, and I actually purchased the second one and have just finished that last night um, on the Kindle. But I'm going to stop and not get the third right now because I want to dig into one of the books that I received from my friend Mar in the Advent calendar. That is, it's not on this list. That is by um, In a Holidays is the name, and I really love that author duo. They they have, like, romance novels, but I really like their take on romance novels, and so this is their newest book. And I had meant to get it from the library, but the wait was like 40 weeks. And when I told Mar, she gave it to me as Advent calendar day one. So I'm really excited to dig into this because it's a Christmas book, and why not read that one in Christmas time? The next one is Håkan Nesser, Elf Tage in Berlin. I often purchase books when I'm traveling. Um, then Sue Monk Kid, The Secret Life of Bees. My son just read that in school. Um, yeah. So then John Green, In an Abundance of Catherines. I had meant to read this for a long time as well, never did. Heather Morris, The Tattooist of Auschwitz. Frederick Backman, A Man Called Ovi. Byron Katie, Loving What Is. My friend Tina gave this to me and I started it. It's a nonfiction. Yeah. And then Jacqueline Woodson, Brown Girl Dreaming. I also was almost halfway through this book, and then for some reason I stopped and I couldn't get into this. I think it's written in verse, and I liked it, but I don't know why I didn't finish it. So I'm gonna read that, give that one more try. Then I had found the book Human Body Theater, which I gave to my children. I just wanted to read it myself as well, and I have never touched it either. Meg Mitchell Moore, Eine fast perfekte Familie. Angie Thomas, The Hate You Give. I mean, it was the second one in the line, and I somehow missed it. So these are 12 books on this to be read list for years. So I actually prefer, another reason why I don't use books anymore is because I really like reading at night in my bed and having a Kindle in my hand, laying in my bed, and a book. The Kindle always wins. So I often just get some kind of light reading, cutesy love story from the library instead of reading those more heavy duty books that I have on my nightstand. Um, I'm actually afraid of reading. I definitely am afraid of reading The Hate You Give, I have to admit. But I think it is just necessary that I finally overcome and do what I really I'm really curious. And then yeah, I already said it before. I'm not taking the time to read often because I love watching YouTube more. I've started to not take my phone into my bed at night. I am using my alarm on my, what is it called, Fitbit, and it works. I wake up from that noise, so I don't need my phone in the bedroom, and that helps me read at night. But then, what if the book sucks me in and I can't stop? That doesn't help either. So yeah, and as I said, I'm always sucked into those books and forget everything around me, so it's really dangerous for me sometimes to read. I can only read when I really have the time. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this Sunday chat. I love doing these talking to you about things that happened to me, uh, my sharing my thoughts, sharing my opinions. I hope you find them enjoyable as well. I really like this kind of format, just talking about a topic maybe related to what I'm journaling about, and not telling you all the details and technical stuff that are happening on the page, but more talking about the thing that I'm writing about. So if you are reading, happy reading. Now is the perfect time. It's dark early. It is cold outside, and we can snuggle up on the couch with a book and a cup of tea. And I think that's exactly what I'm going to do just now. I'm going to grab the new book that I have and start. It is Sunday, as I said, and I have all day to go get through it. I hope you enjoy and relax today. Have a great start to your week, and I will see you soon. Until then, bye.